Welcome, everyone, to Every Woman Empowered's Chit Chat. And I am your host, Shauna J. Cerniak, the founder of Every Woman Empowered. And alongside, I have my co-hosts,
Jenny Galarno, international artist and resident artist for Every Woman Empowered.
Mila Janu, certified laughter yoga instructor, founder of Let's Laugh Yeg, and happiness ambassador for Every Woman Empowered.
And coming from all the way from Europe is the wonderful Liz Reed, the fairy godmother. Welcome, Liz.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Yep. Hi. So thank you, Liz, for being on our show today. You are a very interesting woman. I have to say, not too many people I know are called the fairy godmother. You want to explain to me and to the rest of our viewers, what is the fairy godmother and what does she do?
Well, fairy godmother is my kind of Disney name. It's the name of my YouTube channel, which mainly I use to upload vlogs of my trips to Disneyland Paris. And the way I became fairy godmother was I have an actual goddaughter called Katie May, who's now 19. And when she was about 14, I surprised her with a trip to Disneyland Paris. So I arranged it with her mum, so her mum knew. And then I did a reveal and told her about it. And so I had taken her once before, but this was a surprise trip. And we had a really good time. And my husband was at that time editing the vlogs for me. So it was the early days of the vlogs. And he said, you should be called fairy godmother now because you're Katie's godmother and you took her to Disney. So that's just how I became fairy godmother, really. So it's the name of my channel and it's stuck now. So.
Well, you can be my godmother anytime. I'd love to go to see Disney Paris, that's for sure.
Here. So, Liz, what do you think it is about Disney that just continues to endure through all the ages?
Well, I think it's the escapism and the freedom of it, because whether you're watching a Disney animation or movie or whether you're in the parks, for me, it's more about the parks. It gives you the freedom to be a child, express your inner child, which is very much what Walt Disney had in mind when he thought of the whole idea. And, you know, everybody gets to be a child, everybody gets to express themselves, everybody gets to play, everybody can imagine, and you can escape all the harsh realities of the world and all your responsibilities. And it really doesn't matter what age you are, what country you're from, anything, because you're all just in Disney having a good time together. Yes. I think that's what it is, really. It's a great leveler.
For sure.
So I want to know, how did you get into this position of I want to get this correct, Inside Ears, the social media press club of Disney Paris?
That's a mouthful.
Wow. It sounds good, doesn't it? I brought my little membership card to show you, so I'll put this up. It's a bit of reflection. Yeah. See, that says Inside Ears.
Yes.
And on the back, I think it's in French. Ambassadeur officiel de Disneyland Paris. There you go. Wow. Card carrying member. Actually, that card doesn't do anything. They just gave it to us.
Just made it look good.
It's fun. So basically, about 3 and a bit years ago, they invented this idea of Inside Ears, because before that they had a press list and they would release the press releases and news to the people on that list, and they would get invited to events. And it tended to be people with websites and podcasts and publications and things like that. But then the world of social media took off. And so to move with the times, that's how basically most people get their news these days, social media. So all the people that were on the press list were made members of Inside Ears. They started it in April 2018. And then they invited some more people. At that time, I wasn't in it right at the beginning, but then you could apply to be in it. So first of all, I applied to be in it by virtue of my Run Disney group. I have a Facebook group which I created myself, which is just about Run Disney in Paris, which started in 2016. And that group's the biggest one about Run Disney Paris. But they said that I couldn't join on the basis of having that group because it wasn't relevant. Their news releases are just about Disneyland Paris in general. And they said they only do like 1 or 2 a year about Run Disney, you know, like the medal reveals or the theme reveals or things like that. So then I'm an admin of a massive Facebook group called Disneyland Paris Chat for Brits. It's not my group, but I'm probably the most active admin of it. And the woman that owns the group just let me take it over pretty much. So that group now has 35,000 members. And what we pretty much do is we advise people on tips and tricks and how to book your trip and what the news is about Disneyland Paris. Anything from advice for the hotels, what to do, what age your children are, what's appropriate, anything really, how to travel. So I applied by virtue of that group and got straight in then. So what they do is, so you would apply, then they check out your social media. So the team would become a member of your groups and check out your social media, and they stalk it for a while, you know, watch it for a week or two and see what it's like. And then they decide if they're going to let you in or not. And I got let in. So there's about 200 social media ambassadors for Disneyland Paris.
Just for Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, and that's for every country. So obviously you've got some French, some Belgium, some Dutch, some American, some British, and they want a good mix of people. They want to be able to reach as many people as possible.
Right.
So that's how come basically I applied, I got in. And because of that, I've been invited to some nice press events. And I have an app. The main thing is you get an app called Sociable and you get a password. And every time there's a press release or a bit of news or something they want us to share, the app gets a notification. So that happens most days, sometimes more than once a day. And then it's up to us if we want to share it or not. We can share it, we don't have to share it. And it often comes with photographs or links to videos or things like that.
That's really interesting. It gives Disney another opportunity to spread the word of what they're doing. And I think that's great that they're utilizing the general public and those advocates and the lovers of Disney. So I think that's a really smart idea. Very
it's clever because they get all our followers. They get all our followers instantly. So
free advertising. Who doesn't love free advertising?
We sign up to a charter. There's literally a charter which I've sort of got the charter here. It's like a list of things. So I don't know, I'll try and give you an example. Oh, that's the French side. I better read my English side. So okay, so the charter is things like how to keep a secret. So they might tell you that something's going to happen, but you're not allowed to release it until the next day or something like that. So there's about 6 things on the charter, and you have to sign up to that.
If you break it, let's say you reveal it the day before, then are you out of the group? Out of the
in theory, they could throw you out of it.
Yeah.
But in practice, nobody has been thrown out of it.
Right.
I think you'd have to do something pretty bad.
Yes.
But basically, you're signing up to a charter of kind of just ethics because you're going to be representing them.
Of course, like anything else, right?
Yeah. And so we have that. So
awesome.
They don't exactly control us, but they have a level of control over how
it is their place, and it makes sense. Exactly. Yeah.
Liz, you kind of touched on this, but could you get into more of the origins of how you got involved with Disneyland Paris Marathon and why it's important that you want to encourage others to get running?
Sure. Well, a few years ago, I took up running. I just looked this up today, so I'm just going to look at my little notes here. I think it was 2013. So 2013, my friend persuaded me to run what's called British 10K. You run through Westminster in London, do a 10K, you get a nice medal. And she persuaded me to do it to raise money. My mum had died of cancer a few months before, and it was to raise money for the hospice. That's what I was doing it for. So basically I started running and started training for the first time to do this 10K for the fundraising aspect. And we went to London, we had a great time, we did the 10K. And then I thought the next logical step was to train for a half marathon. So I trained for a half marathon and did that locally to where I live. Also for the hospice, raised some more money. And I discovered that while I don't like running, I actually hate running. And I hate training for running, that I'm not one of these people that likes to go for a run to clear my head or anything.
Right.
I have to drag myself out of the door and force
Maybe
myself
run to the pub.
Yeah. But what I like is the events. I like the events, the atmosphere, chatting to other people, being with lots of other people, the people cheering you on, getting a medal at the end. I kind of got addicted to that side of it. So then my friend was running a London Marathon, and we went up to the expo together in London, and there was a stand. So Run Disney had a stand in London, and they said they were coming to Paris. So we got really excited because we didn't know what Run Disney was. And basically they said they were doing the inaugural, it was a half marathon, the inaugural half marathon at Disneyland Paris, 2016. And this was in 2015, I think we found out about it. So we were like, well, we're signed up for the email updates, everything. And I didn't really know anything at all about Run Disney. I'd only discovered it there at the expo, didn't know about the American one. So then I started a Facebook group to just find other people that would be going, that would be interested. So I literally started my Run Disney Facebook group with probably 5 people, 5 of my running friends, and it took off pretty big after like a year or 2 of the event. So now I've got obviously Americans, Canadians, people from Israel, France, Belgium, Holland, everywhere. I've got 6,500 members now, and all that group is about is Run Disney at Paris. But basically I like to encourage people to have a go at the races, because I think anyone can try a 5K, especially Run Disney, because you could walk all of it, half of it, if you need to. You don't have to be a great athlete, and you get to experience being cheered, dressing up in a funny costume, having a nice medal, getting your finisher's t-shirt, all of that.
Is it Liz, is it right in Paris? Like Disney Paris that you get to run?
Oh, is it through the parks?
Oh,
you get
that's
to,
awesome.
You run through the parks, you run through the castle, you run around the attractions, the characters are out, you have character stops. It's amazing.
How many people usually do that run each year?
Thousands, like 10, 15,000 people.
Wow.
So there's a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon. So 5K would be Friday, 10K would be Saturday, half marathon would be Sunday, and our 5K is an evening race, which is quite unusual. So we have that in the evening after dark, after the park's closed. Then you get up really early Saturday and do the 10K at 7 a.m. Then you get up really early Sunday and do the half marathon at 7 a.m. If you want to do them all, which I do.
Do you do all 3?
Yeah, done all 3 every year. And then you get the medals plus a challenge medal. But I think the first year was the best, probably 2016, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know there was character stops. I hadn't really researched the American races.
Beautiful.
So I'm running along, and there's Chewbacca and Darth Vader and R2, and there's Cruella de Vil and Mickey Mouse and Belle and the Beast and everything. It's incredible. The Aristocats, everything.
That's so fun. I think it's great to create a community around something, especially if it's not your favorite thing.
Right.
When you have that sense of community, it kind of keeps you accountable to doing it.
Definitely.
Exactly. So Liz, you've been you've been to Disney Paris,
Mhm.
and you've also been to Disney World in Florida.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit of what is unique to each one of them? I mean, because I've never been to either one of them,
Okay.
just Disneyland. So what makes Disney Paris, and Disney World, Disney World?
Okay, so I was first into Walt Disney World. I first went there when I was 19, and it had been like a dream of mine to go to a Disney park. So back then, Disneyland Paris didn't exist, and I worked all summer in America at a camp, summer camp, in order to travel, and I managed to get to Walt Disney World. So Walt Disney World has 5 parks. So you've got Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. Hang on, this is 4. Is there 4? Yeah, and the two water parks. So you've got Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and the Hollywood Studios. And then you've got Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon water parks. At Paris, we've got the main Magic Kingdom park, if you like, and another park which we call Walt Disney Studios, which is the film park. So Disneyland Paris is way, way smaller, but I prefer that now because of the sheer amount of walking that you can do and because of how easy it is to park hop. So if we want to park hop, we can just leave one park and walk to the other park. It's 10 minutes.
Wow.
Whereas if you want to park hop in Walt Disney World, you've got to exit the park, get the monorail, go through security again. It can take you a good hour to hour and a half to get across to a different park, I would say. So we just all day zip between the parks quite easily. That's one difference.
Right.
Also, I would say Paris is more, our castle is better. Now, we have Sleeping Beauty's castle. I think that's Cinderella's castle at Walt Disney World. Cinderella's castle is just like a facade. There's nothing in it. It looks good, but there's nothing inside it. Whereas at Disneyland Paris, inside our castle, we have, for a start, the biggest animatronic dragon. As you know, Terry Hardin was the Imagineer behind that. So we have a dragon that lives in the basement. You can go and visit the dragon. Then on the ground floor where you come in, we have 2 shops. One's an Arabesque shop that sells ornaments and things. And the other one is a Christmas shop that's open all the year round. And then you can go upstairs to the top of the castle, and we have a tableau of Sleeping Beauty's story. So we have tapestries, stained glass windows, spinning wheels, snoring guards, everything to tell the story of Sleeping Beauty. And these are tapestries and stained glass that have been made by the same artisans that do like Notre Dame Cathedral and things like that.
Wow.
And you can then go out on the balcony and you can have a view over Fantasyland and the parks. You can go out on the castle balcony. So I think our castle's better for sure.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Liz, didn't mean to cut you off, but how are you surviving with COVID? The park was obviously closed down for a while. I hear it's back open again. And you go almost, once a month?
I usually go once. Since I have my annual pass, I normally go once a month. So I can get on the Eurostar at London, and it will get me 3 hours later. I'm in Disneyland Paris, so I can get
That's
a ticket.
dedication. That's dedication.
I can get a ticket for, if I get the tickets early enough, it's about £40 or £50 each way for the Eurostar. And then with your annual pass, you've obviously got your tickets covered. And then I tend to share hotel rooms with friends. I've got other friends with annual passes. We just go in together and share the rooms. Good way to make friends. Or I stay off-site. You can stay quite cheaply off-site. And sometimes I have the Disney hotels because we can get a discount on them.
Wow.
With annual pass. So yeah, normally once a month. So it's now last March, and COVID happens and suddenly the parks just close. And I was there probably a week before that. So that was a shock, and we all thought it was going to be 2 or 3 weeks. And it was really bad. And we had this lockdown. And although I work in a pharmacy, I chose to stay at home and not work for that initial lockdown because the pharmacy wasn't safe then. We didn't have any precautions. So I was bored stiff at home. So I literally painted the Disneyland castle on my wall. I decided to I missed it. So I did the mural, have that downstairs, and I never painted anything before, let alone a mural, but it's turned out fairly okay. So I did that, and I recreated some of the attractions at home, like Meet Mickey and the Buffalo Bill Wild West show, and just things like that with my toys. And
So who is your absolute favorite Disney character?
definitely Jiminy Cricket, and I collect things. I'm trying to think why I like Jiminy Cricket so much, and I think it's just he's cute and he's the main. To me, he's the main character in Pinocchio, because if it wasn't for Jiminy Cricket, Pinocchio would still be a wooden puppet.
Plus, he's a sharp dresser.
Yeah. His conscience is what makes him into a real boy.
Yes.
So one of the things I want to show you from my collection was this little sculpture of Jiminy Cricket is a Terry Hardin piece. I know you interviewed her. So it came in this little box. So she sculpted this. This is Jiminy before he gets his smart outfit, like when you very first meet him. And so I think it says Terry Hardin, and it's got the number on the bottom.
Oh, and we love Terry.
So I collect anything I can find with Jiminy Cricket on, and it's just become an obsession now. And I really wanted to meet him, but he's a very difficult character to meet. He's a rare, like a VIP character. And funnily enough, he was on the 10K course in 2018 at Paris, and everybody was telling me, Jiminy's out, Jiminy's out. But he would come out for half an hour and then have a break, and it would be Geppetto, and then he would come out again. But it must have been fate, because just as I was running through Fantasyland, he was there. And there was there was a bit of a line, and everyone was trying to let me in the line, but I don't like to be a bad example. So I was like, no, I'll line up. But nervous at the same time that I would miss him. But I didn't. So I managed to meet Jiminy on the 10K, which was amazing. And then I've since met him at like a private party, like an annual pass holders party.
Private party.
I've managed to meet Jiminy twice, so I'm very happy with it.
That's awesome. Your Jiminy is like my Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
So Liz, tell us your funniest story about, some of the adventures that you have done.
Well, I was trying to think about that, and one of the stories that amused me because I now get recognized, because people follow my vlogs and I'm so available on Facebook, I get recognized.
That's cool.
So I was invited to go to Disneyland Paris to stay with my friend. So I have a friend who's a foster mum, but she's adopted some of the kids, and they're fans of my vlogs. The kids are fans of my vlogs. So I'd met them in the parks a couple of times, and we became friends. So she said to me, I'm going to be in Disneyland Paris with two of the girls. Do you want to come and just share our room and hang out with us? I was like, yeah, okay. And so it was a surprise to the girls. So they're about probably 11, 12 age. So I decided to try and stay incognito until I saw them, and I was going to meet them after the parade. So I was trying to hide, if you like. So I arrived at the park. I went to the baggage storage, put my luggage in the baggage storage. My phone went off. I looked at it, and someone said, was that you at the baggage storage? I just saw in the park, and that was how fast I got recognized. So I said, yeah, but please don't post anything, because I'm trying to surprise these girls and I don't want anything on social media. But just as I went from place to place, I got in the park, I was recognized. People will want to take a selfie with me or just say hi. So I was just saying that's fine, but can you just not post anything until after about 6 o'clock? So I managed to go around the park for 2 or 3 hours and then surprise the girls after the parade.
Oh,
Wow.
That was really good. But it was difficult. It was actually difficult.
So to heck with Jiminy, we got Liz Reed on here. I mean, that's a star in herself right here. That's awesome.
Well, it's a small place.
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris is small. I haven't been to California, but they say it's about the same size. So you can be a kind of big fish in a small pond, I think.
That's right.
At Disneyland Paris. And the cast get to know me, and so I know quite a lot of the cast members. So that's fun.
That's pretty special. So I've got kind of our last question is,
Sure.
I want to know how many pairs of ears you have.
Well, that's funny because the room I'm in now, they're here in 2 boxes. Like they're just stored in 2 boxes, but I have 77 pairs of ears.
Oh my gosh.
And I know this because I counted them. I'm just trying to see if I can grab them now. I'm literally right near to right near to my ears. So like loads of my ears all over the place. Yeah,
Do you have
77
a
pairs.
favorite?
Ooh.
These ones are from California, from the New Magic Happens parade.
Oh, I like that one.
So yeah, I literally have 77 pairs of ears, and I made a vlog of them recently. So during lockdown, it's obviously hard. The parks are closed at the moment. We don't know when they're going to open again. They opened last summer for 3 months and then closed again. I have to think of vlogs I can make while the parks are closed. So I made one of showing my ears. So
That's awesome.
77 and counting. I'm a bit addicted. I'm a bit addicted to the ears. It's a bit of a problem.
Just a
Maybe the
few.
next one is how many Jiminy Cricket memorabilia you have.
I don't know, a lot. I was actually thinking of making a vlog of my Jiminy Cricket stuff because it's so much. I have a bag of just Jiminy Cricket pins. So some of them are limited edition, some of them are not. But I probably have, I don't know, at least 50 or 60 Jiminy Cricket pins. And then I have quite a few plushes, probably about 10. And then, I don't know, little statues, ornaments, sculptures. I have clothes. I have a Jiminy Cricket skirt that someone made me that I wore when I met him. A skirt and ears that match. And I wore my full-on Jiminy Cricket outfit when I met him. When I met him at this party.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, just all sorts. It's quite hard to get things with Jiminy Cricket on in this country or in Paris. I think he's more common in America because he represents the conservation, because it's there, always let your conscience be your guide. They use him for Earth Day and conservation. So, and he's in the parade in Walt Disney World, so he walks along.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I collect what I can find.
You know, I find that those who have a passion for Disney, it brings out such a childlike presence in them. And, you know, just hearing you're like, your eyes light up and, you know, you just shine with it. And I think that's exactly what Walt Disney's message was to make everyone be that child again and just go to a place that just makes you smile and makes you happy. And you don't even have to go there now because there's so many other things, blogs, you know, getting memorabilia, you know, there's so many things. You can go on a cruise, you know.
Disney Plus. Thank God for Disney Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
It came out during lockdown, and that was perfect timing.
Yes.
To get Disney Plus because we were a bit bored of Tiger King and Netflix series. So Disney
you can only
Plus
watch so much Netflix, and then you got to move on to something else. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Liz, thank you so much for the fairy godmother. Thank you so much for being on our show today. And we just wish you a magical 2021. And thank you for taking time to being interviewed on Every Woman Empowered's Chick Chit Chat. You have a great one and a magical 2021. Take care, Liz.
Bye-bye.